Hello everyone, my name is Austin Hills, and for my assistive technology video, I will be talking about talking calculators. So what exactly is a talking calculator? So on the right hand side of this screen, we could actually see what a talking calculator looks like. Many of you may have noticed that it looks just like a regular calculator. That's because a talking calculator is a calculator that comes with a built-in speech synthesizer designed to help someone with a number of different disabilities. So there are actually a number of different talking calculator models that help with different necessary needs. For example, many of the calculators comes with a speech synthesizer. They often have options for male or female voices. Some of them come with extra large number keys, some of them come with headphones, and actually some of them actually appear in just applications on your cell phone. So the cost and manufacturers of talking calculators varies depending on the calculator that you need and what the functions you are expecting to get from the calculator. So for most talking calculators, it's actually reasonably priced, making them an affordable tool for many. The first type of talking calculator would just be a basic 4-function calculator. They range from about $15 to $25, and a couple of different companies include Ryzen, MaxAids, and Teltime. If you need a calculator to be a little more high functioning, such as a scientific calculator, that could actually range somewhere between $300 and $450. Some companies that create these devices are known as Platoon, Sight Enhancement Systems, and CareTech. So these devices are a little bit more expensive because they come with more tools often, such as a larger screen display and more detailed math operations. So unlike just adding, subtracting, multiplying, and dividing, these calculators can also do trig functions, powers, square roots, and other functions that would be designed for higher level math classes. If you need a model even more complicated than that, such as a graphing calculator, you could expect it to be upwards of $500. The go-to company to create this one is called Sight Enhancement Systems, and these devices have the most advanced math operations, such as graphing functions, intersecting lines, storing data tables. These are for students that would be taking upper-level math classes at a high school level or college level. So those are the three different categories that they fall under and their price range. So how is it actually used? The calculators work like a normal calculator. However, when a command is pressed, the device speaks it aloud to the user. So you may be asking yourself, why is this beneficial? This helps the user know if the correct button or operation was entered. The calculator will also speak the final answer aloud to the user. This is helpful for those who have limited sight. And just like a regular calculator, most of them are made out of plastics. A lot of them run on typical batteries, and some of the calculators have a headphone option. So we'll go more into what the headphone option includes later on in the presentation. But like I said, they're made of plastic, they run on batteries, and occasionally they have solar panel backup batteries as well. So they're built just like a regular calculator is built. So let's talk a little bit about the target audience and who and how they would be using these calculators. So depending on the target audience, you're going to want to use a different calculator. Someone with a visual impairment, whether this is for a student or just a general use, would like a calculator that has a speech function along with a larger screen. The speech function will help them make sure that they press the correct buttons, while a larger screen may help them see the numbers better or see the answer better. Along with a larger screen, it actually will come with larger buttons so that they stand a better chance of being able to read the numbers off of the calculator. Someone who has motor impairments, again, that student or general use, is going to really rely on the speak function and will not need a larger screen. So they may look for a model that specifically has a nice speech function. It tells them if the correct command was pressed, and it will also tell them the answer. Hearing impairments, again, if it's a student or a general use, is going to most likely want a model with a headphone option. Someone who has limited hearing is going to want to be able to really understand what the calculator is saying to them, which can be directly through the use of the headphone jack. Someone with ADHD will want the calculator that has a speech function to better keep track of the commands they enter into the calculator. So a lot of the times the students may get distracted when using the calculator during a math problem. So as the calculator speaks to the student, it stands a better chance that the student is going to stay focused and on task and be able to follow through with the entire operation of the problem. And again, finally, we're going to talk about a student maybe with dyslexia. Those with dyslexia will benefit from having the answers read aloud to them. It will limit the amount of opportunities the student has to mix up the numbers while trying to follow along on a multi-step problem. So those are a couple of different audiences that these calculators would be specifically used for. Most of them are student or general use. The last two really start to focus on the student use though. To sum up the presentation, I wanted to talk about the negative impact of talking calculators. These are excellent tools, and there really isn't all that much negative impact regarding a talking calculator. The two things that came to mind, however, were the students tend to become reliant on the device and do not develop the necessary math skills they need. As a physics teacher, I see this all the time, whether it's for students with disabilities or for regular students. In the sense of using calculators in class, the students are unable to do their basic multiplication tables. They rely too much on the calculator even for addition and subtraction, and they haven't quite developed the necessary math skills that a high school senior should have. Many of them can't take simple percentages like 10% of a number, and I attribute it to the fact that their entire lives they have been told to use a calculator and to rely on a calculator. And the second negative impact that these calculators may have on students is the fact that they could be a distraction to other students around in a classroom setting. So if you're in a regular classroom setting with a student that is using a talking calculator, the device is actually going to be spoken aloud. If there is no headphone jack in these calculators, it's likely that this will cause a distraction to other students. Maybe a student that has ADHD is distracted by some other student who's using the talking calculator to help solve the problem. So these were the two negative impacts. But overall, I really do believe that these talking calculators are a beneficial tool to be used in schools, and one of the most important parts about using these tools in school is the fact that they are really affordable. Now, identifying which tool is going to be used, if we go back a couple slides, identifying which calculator is going to be used for a specific target audience really should be decided upon by the IEP team. The parents should be involved in the decision-making process, and the teacher should be involved in the decision-making process to make sure the student has what they need for that particular class. It's a collaborative effort because everyone contributes, and the teacher knows what's best for the class, but maybe a technology specialist knows what's best for the student. So it's really a collective effort to really finalize what the student needs and how we could benefit them in the most appropriate way. So I hope you guys like my presentation. I look forward to discussing with you, and I hope you all have a good day.